Yes, good day. I want to introduce myself and the work I am providing to the world. My name is Maria de las Mercedes Gomez Núñez. My soul's name, and everybody mainly know me by by this name, is Yaela, and I'm called actually Yaela Mercedes. Um, I come from Colombia so my mother tongue is Spanish. I came to Austria, Vienna, where I'm still living right now here, with the age of 2 with my whole family. My parents emigrated for a couple of years because my father knew that to know languages was part of the future. The same way as I know that to see blindfolded, which is my life mission, is part of the future. So there we were here, our whole family, when I was small, for 8 years in Austria. I went to the French school together with, of course, with my siblings, and we went more than 3 times to England and stayed the whole vacation time over there. So that's why I know quite well English. And German, you learn it, of course, here in Austria. So these 4 languages are part since I'm a little girl, and now I know why I needed to know them so well, because actually I'm the only one right now worldwide which are able to teach to adults how to activate in children, teenagers, and young adults how to see blindfolded. But let me start a little bit of my history so that you learn me better. So here was, I graduated then back in Colombia in the German school, came to my studies here to Vienna, got started working in travel agencies, and got married, had children, and then I had my life experience, or my wake-up call, as I call it. For that purpose, I wrote a book in 2020. It's just in German and Spanish, but in English it will have the title Carried by Life. And it talks about what happened in my life after this wake-up call. So I had 3 little boys, aged 5.5, 3.5, and 20 months. And really from one day to the next, the middle one got sick because of a bacteria, and within 3 days he was dead. It was a very tough time. We even had to discuss with doctors to let him go because they wanted to try everything out as a guinea pig. And thanks God, I had a very good company with my lawyer and connection with my lawyer, so that we could stop this process of trying out everything with him. And from that time on, thanks to my sister, who told me to read some really good books, for example, The Light After the Life, and so on, I started really asking what is all this behind? Why are we here on Earth? What is this life for? And so on and so forth. So my journey of becoming a conscious person started. I started reprogramming me, reading books with Dr. Joseph Murphy, Louise L. Hay, and so many others. We still had a 4th child, and then after a certain time it was just impossible to live together because I had changed and the father of my children didn't, so there was no connection anymore, and we got divorced. Also a really also tough time for me, as that's when I really felt how life is supporting you, and actually one of the main topic of the book I wrote, because I was really carried by life. Although it was such a hard time, I got in the very best moment again a job in the United Nations, where I had worked before for years. But I would say in the time of my marriage, I lost my self-confidence, and I had to regain it back due to reprogramming. So I I worked very happily. I was really happy with in the agency and so on. But I went, actually, the moment I got divorced, I really went on the highway of self-empowerment. I attended a lot of seminars, did Reiki courses, and yeah, 3 years of studies in homeopathy and so on and so forth, energetic homeopathy and things like that, self-empowering me always, and always getting rid of old patterns and paradigms and so on. And actually, I understood one day that the work at the United Nations is no longer good for me, and I quit. I went into early retirement. And in my first year, 2016, middle of the year, in a newsletter of Joe Dispenza, I opened a link, and there it was a film, a video with children blindfolded doing everything, reading, dancing, running, and so on, playing ball and everything. So this was for me, my heart just opened, and I knew that's me. I want to teach this to children. And I researched. I found out the methodology is taught in Mexico. It's no problem for me. Spanish is my mother tongue. I have a very good friend in Mexico City. So there I contacted her, and I heard from them in advance that if ever whenever they hold a seminar in Mexico City, it would take place just around the corner of the house where my friend lives. So this was for me really the best coincidence ever. I knew I had to be in Mexico. So they told me the date when there would be a seminar, and I immediately contacted also my niece, who, by coincidence, if you still believe in that, and I don't, had moved in February 2016 with her family to Mexico City. And she had her eight-year-old boy, which I could take along, because you are in 4 days as an adult learning how to activate these children. That's how we use the expression, to activate this gift in children. And if one has the possibility, one should take along a child aged between 6 and 10. So 8 years was just perfect. There he was, and he was able to see immediately on the first day. It was a mind-blowing experience to me and to many of us. And then at the end, because a friend of mine of United Nations had asked me to ask them, I asked them if they wanted to give this seminar in English in Austria. And they agreed immediately. They said, yes, of course. And so for the first time, they came to Austria and to Europe in December 2016. We held this seminar here in Vienna in English. And it was also for all the participants, 8 of them, a mind-blowing experience, also for the children. And I had already 2 months practice. When I returned in September to Vienna, I immediately practiced with Spanish-speaking children, because I had to start to translate the 400-page manual into German, because it was just in English and in Spanish. So there I was translating it into German, because that's what I needed to be able to teach it to Austrian children. And so that's how this methodology has spread over Europe. And I knew that I had to become instructor of instructor to be able really to spread it to the world, which I knew is my mission. And that's why I know the languages I know, so I can really teach it everywhere where English is speaking, which is all over the world actually, and French as well, Spanish of course, and German. So I have so 2019, 3 years after I have done this course in Mexico, I got my diploma, instructor of instructor. In the meantime, 2018, I founded the association Nova Vision, which is, with our heart project, is to the EOV, the extraocular vision, to teach really how to see blindfolded to children, to adults, but especially to adults who wish to spread it to the world. So what are these main benefits? Because it's not just that the children know and can see everything blindfolded. Please watch many of the videos, all the videos on our website, be www.novavision.at or www.extraocular-novavision.com. There you can find a lot of videos, and also in the first one in novavision.at you can see quite a few written testimonials about this methodology, what the parents, and be assured this methodology is really a special one, because it's the teaching of the extraocular vision, or to see blindfolded, is just a byproduct. The main product is for the children, it's a course of 10 weeks, ideally once a week, a session of 1 hour. And there also they get to know a life topic. So they are discussing also learning a life topic. So they take along a kind of coaching in these 10 weeks. And at the end of the of the session, there is a discussion with the parents. And then they learn, the parents, on what topic was today, and how does my child see that topic, and how can I better support him. And that's what is so different to all the other methodologies in the world, and which is really the very great gift behind, because it's a changing not only of the child, which I'm going to tell you the benefits for the child, but also for the family. And it makes really the family life to be far better, really far better. And that's what we need, because nowadays with all these handies and mobiles and so on and tablets, actually the family, the center of the family, the love of the family is being lost in all these individual tasks with the with all these mobile techniques. So what are the benefits? Children until the age of 12, one can say it with guarantee that they will see within the 10 weeks for sure. Every child at his own, or his or her own pace, okay? One may learn it within the first, one another in the third or fourth session, and maybe another one in the 7th or 8th, doesn't matter. But within the 10, by sure, until the age of 12, they will be able to see blindfolded. Teenagers will most probably also manage it within these 10 sessions, but they have to put more, a little bit more work, so to say, in this thing, a little more power from their own inner guidance, or the impulse. They need to really want it themselves. It's not enough that the parents wish it, they have to want it themselves. And adults, they also manage to see within the 4 days, for example, of our learning workshop, because as I told you, since 2019, I'm giving these learning workshops in German mainly until now. In Czech Republic, that was actually my test and where I got my title. I gave it in English 2 times, once in 2 different cities, together with the Mexican people who came there to check me for my test. And so we are now 2024, October 2024. So I have had quite a lot of experience in German, and I would love starting giving them really worldwide in English. And the point is, we are able to do these upon request only. I don't offer a special date. We just do in Nova Vision. We just do it upon request, and at least 2 people outside of Vienna. It has to be that 2 people or 2 members, because this is an association, requests a learning workshop. And if it's far away, it should be better 3. And then we travel over there. And that's the point. I mean, you don't have to move to Vienna, all of you. We move over there, okay? So just please contact us if this is interesting, sounds interesting to you. Watch first our videos, watch our website, which are in 4 languages, and contact us. I would love helping you if you have any questions. So the benefits for the children, they are mainly focused for having better experiences at school. So they manage to develop their mind, they manage the alpha state, they memorize and recall in detail, they concentrate better, they focus better, they develop their intuition and creativity. So another way of saying it, they keep their genius without losing it due to the school systems. They expand their consciousness, so they become more aware of everything, develop responsibility towards themselves, towards the family, towards society and nature. They improve their behavior at the school and at home. They increase their self-confidence, which is a very important topic. And of course, they improve their intuition. And nowadays, I say it's so important to have a good intuition. You need to know whatever you are hearing, is this really true or not? What does my inner voice tell me? And these children start really listening to this inner voice. And that's what we always tell them, to the parents. Please be frank, say the truth. Don't tell them that you feel fine when you feel angry or sad or whatever, because your child feels that you feel sad or angry, and you are actually really lying, and not only lying, but you are disbalancing their own intuition and self-confidence. You're bringing their own self-confidence into a disharmony, because then they start no longer believing themselves. And actually what we want is that they believe themselves. So this is a new thing. I always compare it kind of yoga 50 or 60 years ago. It will be part of the future, and I'm really very glad that I'm able to be part of this new world. Thank you for listening, and I hope you contact us if you have any questions.